Alright, alright, alright. Alright, alright, alright. Um. Hey, listen. So it's number 6. Number 6. Hey, good morning. Aski Captain Paus. Tormod. Tormod. Sharta, Lurib, Nereda, you're back. Nereda is back. I can feel the power. So, hey Amir. What kind of monster should I draw today? Any suggestions? Hey, Concept Sam. I'm good, man. How are you? Welcome. One Amir Levy. A gargoyle. Octopus fairy. Ah. I can honestly say I've never drawn an octopus fairy. Cookie monster. Alright, cookie monster. We got 1, 2, 3. Any more suggestions? A beetle monster. Ooh. Panda abomination. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Smiling mastodon. Alright. What did you suggest, Amir? I have no idea. Okay, so dice roll. So it's not this number now, but when I click. So let's see. Rolling number 1. Poof. Rigged. Gargoyle by Captain Baus. I think this is your first one in a long time, Captain Baus. Captain Boos. Hey Rags, how's it going? No. Yeah, you missed the fun of topics, yeah. Cosmic Banana is forever a success. Alright, so a gargoyle. I think I'm gonna do the lights technique of gargoyle. And I kinda saw the gargoyle sitting like perched. So we see like the back of it like this. And a wing up like that. So it's more of like a illustration type thing, right? And then the tail going out of to the left. But what I saw was like the gargoyle looking back at us over the shoulder of the wing, you know. That's the picture I had in my head that I'm gonna pursue. I think definitely a panda abomination would be a extremely fascinating topic to experiment with. So for this, I think I'm gonna try to make it feel I guess rock like. Hey Bruno Romanos, how's it going? I must say also shout out to the people doing the 2 week challenge topic. There's some really cool pieces coming out of that. Very nice to see the interpretations as well, like the difference in what you took from the reference and learned, or rather studied. Lurib, yeah, I will. Yeah, exactly. That's the general idea. I can make the, what's it called? Dutch tilt? Is that what it's called? I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to make it feel like rock, probably. Tempted, because a lot of these lights only warm ups, they tend to be like organic, right? So let's challenge myself and try to design maybe something a little bit more angular and material like. But obviously the wings, they have to come off as wings. So what I'm going to try to do is have a transition from rock to skin. I've been, I'm going to do the demo at the industry workshops, and I've been playing around with the approach, and I really like the idea of using a soft brush at the beginning, and then just using the soft brush, like how I set up the lighting, to just scale it down a bit and get a sharper edge. It has this really nice feel to it. Just honest. Cool, man. Cheers. Atsuki, yeah, I mean, the thing with anything, right, is practice makes perfect. So me experimenting with this technique, like deliberately trying to reverse engineer what I'm actually having to do versus what I'm actually doing, and then thinking, like thinking about the steps that I'm doing, and the steps I need to take, and in what way, in the smoothest and that most direct manner, can I get the result, right? It's with anything, and that's why we do studies, and that's why we do sketches, and that's why we analyze what, like, there is this thing obviously called post-mortem, um, i which means after death, um, but it's also it's used for analyzing what happened after an event in terms of like project wise, right? So that when you finish the project, you usually do a post-mortem, which means after the completion of the project, you analyze what went wrong, what went well. Is there any takeaway from the period of time that you spent working on the project, right? That's called a postmortem, and you can do the same every time you do a painting, as long as you are actively analyzing what you're doing. You can learn from it. It's with anything. Like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that to the cashier at the gas station because I had a bad day, right? That's a post-mortem of sorts, but probably like guilt-induced post-mortem. But I always did that at the beginning when I tried to learn. I didn't try to do it while painting too much, because I always wanted to just be in the process of painting, right? And so every time I finished a painting, I always save my paintings in steps. So whenever I finish a painting, I tend to go through the layers, and kind of think of like, oh, did I do something right? Did I do something wrong? At what point did I like mess up and so on? And I try to pinpoint like the process of, was it good, was it bad, what can I learn from this experience, right? And a lot of paintings, when you start and stop paintings, you tend to do that a little bit too heavily, even before a painting is finished. So when you're like analyzing your painting mid-process because you had to stop and then pick it up again, you naturally do like, okay, where's the mistakes? And you don't see the, how to say it, like the, you get blinded by the mistakes on an unfinished painting. So that as well is like a thing that you got to practice to kind of pick a painting up again without losing the momentum or the fun. So that's for me like one of the tricky things that you gotta learn, is to, you know, like to have fun and analyze also all at the same time. And it's not easy, this whole thing, because it's so what's the word I was looking for? It's so not mental, not conscious. It is so cerebral. Hey, so much monsters. Momentum. Fucking so much monsters is gracing us with his imperial presence. Hey, Slumpen, how's it going? Slumpen, boys! If you don't know who So Much Monsters is, but you should, is a kick-ass artist who streams fantastically, like a professional, can only stream. So click his name. If you click his name, you'll get like a business card pop up, right? And then you click the name again and you'll go to his stream. Do it, do it, do it. Or if someone can paste the URL to his Twitch page, so we can all bathe in the glory that is So Much Monsters. Oh yeah, he's an okay artist, but the music is. Hey, the shoe thief. Welcome back, man. Yeah, I mean that's the downside of like whenever people have time to stream is usually like at nights, right? And that's always like an issue with timing unless you're able to stream full time as your day job, you know, which I don't think any of us here is able to do. Bro fist. Full. So much monsters. Uh, would you stream full time if you would be able to? Would you be like, yep, I just do streams all day? I mean, you could right now. Or I mean, you couldn't. Or you could. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of energy to stream and, you know, be the the guy talking and make sure that the stream is fun and working and all that, you know. I don't know if I would want to stream all day as a full-time job. I would maybe feel a little bit like a ship without a rudder, maybe. So much monsters, yeah, exactly. That's the problem with art. It's not like playing a game, right? Where everything is already finished and you just experience the the steps, right? It's like art takes a long time, and how can you make that that actual journey an interesting thing to sit in on? I mean, it is extremely tricky thing to try to boil down to something interesting, and and have people join in on, you know. So much monsters, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's possible to do something interesting, like my stream, right? Look at me. No, but it's just half an hour. I think that's a good size of still keeping it fresh, right? It doesn't grow stale, and just about when you're having fun, that's when the stream ends. um, but I don't know. I mean, sitting 8 hours, let's say 8 hours, like some of these video game streamers do, like painting for 8 hours. I mean, I can do it, but would someone care? You know? Lurib. Well, that's an interesting point, but I mean, at what point would that be boring? Because let's say someone playing a game, the random events of playing against other players or playing against a computer adds variety, right? But it's still the same things. I mean, if you, even though you are creative and you sit here and like slave all day, uh, people don't care because it's not that interesting to experience from the back seat, you know. So for me, like for me with this stream, for example, I always try to have something to say for half an hour, or if I don't have anything to say, at least I'll try to come up with something. As I don't have music on, so I can't just lean on the music to fill the dead air of the stream. Hey Georg, how's it going? Yeah, exactly. So much monsters. Yeah, I mean, I think what how you are doing it, so much monsters, is great. Like you give them a great playlist, you chill out. It's more like having a beer, you know, at a great club, or a great bar, and you're the guy in the bar that you're having a beer with that talks all the time. You know, in a good way, in a good way, not like, oh please shut up kind of way. Um, but enough people don't care about the process of creating, and then when you're trying to be like the preacher of, you know, like you're having to be educational or like hold the floor as a teacher, it just becomes stale as well, especially if you don't know how to talk, and then the stream just turns into cringe. To the same as the opposite, where you don't do anything, you don't say anything, and you're just sitting there, more or less reading chat. What chat is the chat is dictating what's being said in the terms of, you know, like they are more active, and the shit streamer is just kind of following suit. I don't know. Just to clear, I'm not salty or anything here. I'm not complaining. I'm just thinking. But it's but it's tricky. I love thinking about shit like that, where because I don't know. You know, I mean, look at my view count or following count. It's not like I'm the like blowing anyone out of the blowing anyone's mind here, right? It's not amazing stats in terms of a streamer, you know. So who am I to say? But I love thinking about it. Hey, Chisrad. I'm no OG. I'm no original gangster of streamers. I mean, granted, I've been streaming for quite some time, even on another platform, a platform called Livestream. No, which was fun. But I didn't have microphone or cam. I just put music on. But I always think of how can you make a stream good? Like, why would anyone want to come here? And I can only assume why all of you fantastic people are here every day. But I wouldn't be able to say this is the reason that all of you fantastic people are here, because I wouldn't know. Like, if it's the same like telling someone how to get into the industry, you can only assume or guess or shoot from the hip or talk shit, or, you know, and hope that you're right. It's the same. Like, I wouldn't be able to say why you guys are here. And if I could have like a form that is automatically generated from Google that says these are the reasons that people are here, I think that would be amazing. But I don't think that's doable. Yeah, for 30 minutes, you guys are blowing my mind. I have like 30 to 40 people every day for just 30 minutes. Bjork, yeah, exactly. The gargoyle butt, yeah, yeah. That's awesome concept, Sam. Hmm. Bruno Romanos. Yeah, some streams I just I mix everything together like an idiot. Eric, Eric, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. Well, first of all, thank you. Getting Red Dragon vibes. That's true, Rags. That's true. Google can do that for you. No, but the idea is intriguing, right? And another thing that I love about doing streams is the community aspect, and like having the ability to have random people join in as well. Like I'm not saying that so much monsters here is random, but we did stumble into each other again over internet randomly at Twitch. Like, oh shit, you stream? That's awesome. And in that way, it's a very interesting aspect of community to be active on Twitch and share your art. Um, you gotta think about it. Snälla Hugo, stäng dörren. You gotta think about it like um, of the reason why you stream. Like, is it to dazzle people with your elite skills, or is it to not be so bored at night? Is it to, you know, it's like product, right? You got if you're gonna make a product, you got to think of why you're doing it. And to be fair, the my reason for streaming, there's not one singular thing. Like, I could easily do these warm-ups offline, right? It's I don't need it in that sense. Uh, but I love the aspect of doing it together with all of you guys, and like having this 30 minutes of coffee and talking shit. Oh really, Eric? Wow, that's crazy. Kirill. Chris, yeah, Hugo. I don't know why you came in. But so why I am streaming? To if you try to boil it down, right? Like I said, I don't need to stream in that sense. Like I could easily do this warm up, like we all do at the studio every day, without being live.
Hey, who wants to play drink the beer?
Hey, Team Remmers, cheers for the host, man.
You win.
All right. What do
Much,
I win?
much
beer.
Oh, I'm
appreciated.
going for the high score.
You win a beer. But to kind of try to pinpoint it, I would say I do it because I love the idea of helping someone, and also I do it for the idea of putting pressure on myself, so I don't slack, so I don't fall into complacency. And that's why one of the big reasons is I ask you guys what should I draw, and I don't look at references, and I don't you know, prepare something, you know, or I like the idea of being challenged, right? And I as with anything, as I try always my best to um, like master whatever I'm doing. Sounds like I have a massive ego. I'm not saying I've mastered art, but I love the process of trying to master it, right? So that's one of the big reasons uh, why I stream is to challenge myself, and another reason is to share. And by sharing it, I know it's out there, and it makes me push further beyond that point, so that if I stagnate and like if I share my skills, right, and my thoughts or my designs, because you see me design live, right, and if I share that, I can think, one would think like, oh, people can steal the ideas and I will be out of a job in a way, you know? But I don't care in that way either. I like the idea of community, of having friends, having like how to like if me and a friend would go play a sport that's competitive, I would of course try to beat my friend, but not like die in a diehard kind of way where blood will be flowing. But if you're gonna do something, you might as well do it correctly. So like I went go karting with or karting with father-in-law and family members, and of course we had to start racing. We have to see who is the fastest, who won, who overtook who, because what's the point otherwise, right? Or you just sit there in the car and go vroom vroom, take a lap, and then walk away. there's no, you won't walk away with anything from that point. Bjorn, oh god damn it, war correspondent. I think that will go down in the Hall of Fame, the worst warm up in warm ups history. Fucking war correspondent, go to hell. In for the butts, yeah. So I don't know if this is very gargoyle-like. I think it's missing a. Horn. There we go. Gargoyle. Just honest, yeah. I would. It was an interesting challenge to do rock texture in this method of painting. I don't think I've ever done it, so thanks for the challenge. Uh, let's see if we can't raid someone. Mm, mm. Oh, do you guys want to raid Snake Eater? It looks like he's gonna model a rifle. Could be interesting. As far as I remember, he was somewhat a good streamer, pushing his channel a lot though. But let's raid him today. Team members, really. Nice, man. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Good night. If you're in that part of the world, see you guys tomorrow for Friday. Oh my, it's gonna be Friday tomorrow. Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. Always a huge pleasure. And thanks for the host, Tim. You're a star. Toodles.